a love reading for you. We're going to do a you versus them reading where I pull some cards focusing on your energy, your intentions, your emotions, the direction you want things to go in, all that jazz. And we'll look at your person's point of view as well, your person of interest. If you are new to my channel and you want to see future readings, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video if you also enjoy it. And leave me a comment below to let me know if it resonated with you and if you like these types of readings. But let's go ahead and jump straight in. So the first card is going to represent just your emotional state when it comes to this connection and also this person as a whole. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and also the Eight of Swords. So for my Capricorns who are dealing with someone, or you may have someone that you're already romantically involved with, your emotional state could be fixated on whether or not this person is putting effort in. With the Knight of Pentacles, you could be looking at, are they slow to move when it comes to fixing the issues in the relationship? Are they, not taking any initiative? Are they not following through? I think that you're paying very close attention to that. And based off of if their efforts seem just too slow for you, I think that's affecting the way that you vibe with the connection. Especially if this person was avoidant or may have been deceptive to some degree. There could be certain things that you're waiting for this person to take accountability for that they haven't, apologized for or taken accountability for. And this could be frustrating. For others of you, you could be at a space to where there's certain things, that's finally coming to the surface on their end when it comes to emotions, and you may be asking questions of like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Especially if this is, them acting out of, personal frustration, or them acting from a place of, self-imposed limitations they put on themselves, like basically telling themselves how much effort and energy they can put into things because they could have a defeatist perspective about things, already assuming that things could potentially go wrong because of what they've been through. I think that you're paying close attention to this and gauging whether or not you feel like it's safe to step forward with this. For my Capricorns who are single, and there could be someone who you're interested in, same thing. You're looking at whether or not they are taking initiative and if they're consistent in that initiative. And for some of you, you could feel like, maybe they, can work on that. And you could be wondering, like, is there something they're not saying or something that they're struggling with that's just not blatantly, like, obvious to me yet that is affecting the way that they are moving. Now, going into your person of interest emotional state, how does my Capricorn's person of interest currently feel about my Capricorns and the connection with them? So I have the Ten of Swords, the Devil card, and also the Seven of Pentacles. So if this is someone who you're already romantically involved with or already are at this moment, this person, they feel obsessed with the connection as a whole. Like they may be very controlled in terms of how they go about expressing themselves, but that doesn't mean that they're not fixated on the outcome of things, especially if you did end this connection or you ended communication or you told them straight up like, look, we're done. They could be obsessively thinking about or replaying how things ended off, or certain things that they may have done because of certain limitations they may have had around their thinking, or even just behaviors. Because the Devil card to me is like, okay, I've learned how to operate from maybe an unhealthy standpoint when it comes to connection. So they could be addressing like, okay, was that toxic the way that I was talking to my person, or was this, uncalled for? If this is somebody who you more so are interested in, you guys haven't gotten a chance to like take things to the next level, they could be emotionally distraught because they exist way too in their head. It could be a situation where they can't see beyond their own frustration. Now, let's go deeper. What is my Capricorn's current intentions for their person of interest? What do you guys want deep down when it comes to connecting with this person that you're interested in? I have the Moon card, the Two of Wands, and also the Seven of Wands. So your intentions, you may be at a space to where you don't really know, because you're trying to gauge where this person is standing. The Moon card to me screams like, I'm not sure. I really do feel like there's a connection. I don't really understand why. And that could be a big thing for you, is like there's a mystery around how you feel so strongly about this person, or why there feels like there's a strong connection, and you're trying to really figure out which way to play it out, or which way to go about this. Should you stay single? Should you try to work on this existing connection? If this is just someone you're interested in, should you, give them a chance, or what? A lot of you are just trying to protect yourself from being thrown off energetically if this isn't necessarily meant for you. I do see that being the case. You could also be, another thing I'm seeing, trying to ease this person's worry, because you could tell that they exist in a cloud of worry, and it's affecting the way that you could like plan out the connection. You could have a hard time seeing a vision for you guys being together long term, because they project worry onto you. Now, when it comes to my Capricorns, person of interest, what are their true intentions for my Capricorns at this moment? So I have the Fool card, I have the Tower in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. So in regards to their intentions, if this is someone who you've been dealing with, they may want a fresh start. And with the Tower in reverse, wanting to like just wipe the slate clean, rebuild if there is a chance still. And they could just care about you deeply. It's just they may not necessarily know how to fix things, especially if it feels like there's been tower moments that have exposed the foundation of things as being just maybe not as stable. If this is someone who you're interested in, you guys haven't dated yet or went there, this person, their intentions, they would like to see where things will potentially go, but they also have a protection mechanism around themselves. So they're interested, they're just going to keep their cool in terms of how much they express themselves and how much they put themselves out there, especially if this is a Aries or a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio individual. They're going to keep their cool just so that they don't lose themselves, because they could be wanting to connect but not wanting to repeat certain mistakes from the past. Hey, Cherise. How are you? Now, going into the hidden or subconscious energy for you guys. What is the hidden or subconscious energy around my Capricorns when it comes to their person of interest? What are their hopes, fears, hidden patterns? What's coming up? So we have the Death card, the King of Wands, and also the Ace of Pentacles. So when it comes to the subconscious, let's start with hopes. You could be in a space to where you really hope that your person will make the necessary changes in the way they're showing up, in the way that they're communicating, in even maybe their thought process in certain aspects of how you guys are connecting with each other, so that you guys can have a healthier relationship. For others of you, your hopes may be more so aligned with just getting to a place to where the relationship is just fun and flirty again, and focused on like the stability of what you guys are trying to build for each other. Fears that you could have a fear that this person won't make the necessary change, especially when it comes to what they do when they get angry, or how they shut down or say certain things that they don't necessarily mean in the heat of the moment. Now, when it comes to your person's subconscious, when it comes to my Capricorn's person of interest subconscious, what's their hopes, fears, and patterns coming through? Now I have the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and also the Sun card. So going into their hopes, they could be hoping that they won't be abandoned at the end of the day. They could have an abandonment fear. They may have seen some things growing up, because the Ten of Pentacles does talk about like family environments. They may be a parent where, prior to you guys dealing with each other, they may have, had children and things didn't necessarily work out there, and they could have like an abandonment fear. If this is a family situation, they could be afraid of you, you know, wanting to leave the relationship again. So they could have a lot of worry around being left high and dry, or being left in a position to where they lose themselves as well with that Five of Pentacles. They're really hoping that the script will flip in terms of you guys getting to a happier place, especially if you guys have been dealing with each other for a long time. Now, going into the direction of things, how are things manifesting in terms of the direction of this connection that my Capricorns have with this love interest? I got the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Pentacles, and also the Strength card. So for my Capricorns who are already dealing with this person, like already in a relationship, dating, there's a lot of twists and turns. I do think that there is a moment where you guys will make the final decision about whether or not you're going to choose to stay single or if you're going to work through things. Your person of interest could also try to work on their anger or their ego to some degree. I think a lot of you will be waiting until this person does do the personal work by themselves to apologize or to confront their ego and how that's affecting things. If this is someone who you're more so like interested in and you guys aren't in a committed relationship, I do see that things could gradually change where you guys, you know, are going from just talking casually to having, you know, deeper conversation. But it's this process of making this person feel comfortable enough to open up in a sense. Now, final advice. What is the final advice from my Capricorns they need to hear for this connection? So I got the Four of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and also the Two of Swords. So the final advice. Well, if this is someone who you've been dealing with for some time, there needs to be a focus on genuine effort. Both people can't decide that, okay, I'm just not going to put any effort in and then nothing happens. And it shouldn't be one person or one-sided either. There has to be a focus on both of you guys genuinely wanting it to work, especially if this is a family dynamic. If there's, you know, too much, you know, I can't get past this, or with the Two of Swords, resistance and seeing point of view or communicating through things, and this is just something that you guys run into constantly, just kind of step back and assess if this works for you. For others of you, if this is someone who is like fairly newer and someone you're kind of interested in, I would not see them from the lens of what did not work past tense, because you got to give yourself a fair shot to see what the future holds with this person. They may not necessarily align with, you know, what your past may have looked like, or someone who you may have dealt with in your past tense. They could have a different framework mentally, so give them a fair shot to kind of show you that before, you know, writing them off. But this is what I see. I hope that this was helpful. If you did enjoy, if you did enjoy, definitely thumbs it up, subscribe so that you never miss a beat, and I will see you guys in the next one. I can't even talk right now. Good night, y'all.